And I'll tell you what, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it, but if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General.
And they didn't hold back. Trump is clearly unhappy with how things are going, but the situation just keeps getting worse for him. Just hours ago, a new parody ad from the Lincoln Project began making waves. According to reports, it quickly triggered another online reaction from Trump. The ad was strategically scheduled to air during primetime TV slots in areas where Trump is likely to be watching, such as Palm Beach, Bedminster, and Washington, D.C. According to political strategists, the group has a history of placing ads on Fox News affiliates and other conservative-leaning platforms at times when Trump is most active on social media. The idea, according to insiders, is to provoke a direct emotional response. Well, I think it's obvious unless you're the reason your parents drank that it was a major victory, not just for President Trump, but for America, before Trump acted. China's tariffs on the U.S. averaged just over 20%. Now they're down to 10%. In contrast, U.S. tariffs on China have risen from just over 20% to 30%. That's a 20-point swing. I've spent all day listening to some of my Democratic colleagues claiming we didn't gain anything from this. Trump's latest reaction follows the same pattern we've seen in past cycles. He took to his platform with sharp words, calling the Lincoln Project names and dismissing the ad as dishonest. In prior responses to similar attacks, Trump used phrases like Republicans in name only, failed operatives, and losers. Several political outlets report that his online reactions often include personal attacks on individual Lincoln Project members, many of whom are former Republican campaign operatives. Following that ad, only 16% of Americans now approve of Trump's handling of the Epstein case, according to a Washington Post poll. Even among MAGA Republicans, just 43% support his response to the case. Reports suggest that every time Trump reacts, the ads gain even more attention, spreading across platforms like X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and cable news. This cycle of ad and reaction has played out repeatedly, according to media analysts. It also tends to result in increased fundraising for the Lincoln Project, something they've openly acknowledged in past statements. Sources add that the group closely monitors Trump's media habits and times their releases to catch him off guard. People are feeling more optimistic, and even skeptics of Trump's policies are beginning to come around. Just the other day, Ken Langoni said, "When you're wrong, you're wrong. I have to admit it." So, I think when you actually look at what Trump is doing, there's clearly a strategy. There's a message behind the madness. He's actually securing major deals. Some of the Lincoln Project's past videos, like Morning in America and Alligator Alcatraz, went viral after Trump addressed them, sometimes within hours. Recent posts suggest the group is continuing this strategy, using short, provocative messages to spark online debate and drive media coverage. Meanwhile, Trump's Justice Department has been given a noon deadline to respond to concerns raised by victims in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Breaking news tonight, a meeting was held at J.D. Vance's residence. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Deputy Ag Todd Blanche, and others met to discuss the Epstein case. But what is there to discuss? Just release everything. What are they hiding? Multiple reports say the issue revolves around whether to release grand jury transcripts and other sensitive materials that could impact the privacy of those involved. Tensions escalated after a private dinner organized by Vice President J.D. Vance was abruptly canceled. CNN reported the dinner was scheduled to include several top officials: Wiles, Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Deputy Ag Todd Blanche, who recently met with Ghislaine Maxwell. News of the meeting leaked before it happened, and the event was scrapped. Would you consider a pardon or commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell? It's not something I've thought about. It's really something I'm allowed to do. But I haven't considered it. But you wouldn't rule it out. Reports indicate Maxwell was quietly transferred to a minimum security prison in Texas following her meetings with Blanche. Officials are now deciding whether to release a taped conversation from one of those meetings. Maxwell reportedly told Blanche she never saw Trump do anything questionable with Epstein. Despite that, conspiracy theories continue to spread. CNN also reported that officials considered bringing in podcaster Joe Rogan to help manage public perception. Ghislaine Maxwell, one of two organizers of a horrific child sex trafficking ring that Trump allegedly had contemporaneous knowledge meets with the deputy AG of the U.S., who previously served as Trump's personal attorney, and the White House embraces it 1 week later. All of this contradicts the normal rules for prisoners convicted of her crimes. Trump has previously criticized how the case is being handled. Simultaneously, he has proposed a closed-door meeting with both Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. Sources told the New York Times the idea was shared on a call with European leaders, though it's unclear if either foreign leader agreed. A recent poll conducted by UMass Amherst shows Trump's approval rating has dropped sharply, with 81% of respondents blaming him for what they believe is a cover-up of Epstein-related information. Officials have yet to respond directly to these allegations. We had a very productive day with Deputy AG Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, one official said. We thank him for his professionalism and for asking many questions, which Ms. Maxwell answered fully. In another developing story, Maxwell reportedly told the DOJ she never witnessed Trump doing anything concerning during her time with Epstein, according to ABC News. This took place during multi-hour meetings in Florida. CNN says the recordings are being digitized as officials decide whether to release the full transcripts. Maxwell reportedly answered questions about nearly 100 individuals. Her attorney said she did not invoke privilege and cooperated fully. Meanwhile, the White House is trying to contain fallout from the so-called Epstein files, which have reignited public concern and media scrutiny. Breaking news, MSNBC reports that the Justice Department is considering releasing both the audio and the transcript of Deputy AG Blanche's interview with Maxwell, according to sources familiar with the matter. President Trump has authorized Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the unsealing of certain grand jury records. Maxwell is opposing the move through her legal team, claiming it could harm her appeal and damage her reputation. In a memo, Bondi stated much of the information is already public, but acknowledged some victims remain unidentified and unreachable. At a press conference led by attorney Gloria Allred, actress Alicia Arden, one of the first women to report Epstein, broke down in tears after Trump refused to rule out a pardon for Maxwell. Her message was clear: no, Ghislaine Maxwell should not be pardoned. This is a terrible crime. Arden criticized the government for stalling, saying, I'm tired of hearing they want to release the files. Just do it. It's Monday night. And here's the latest. Ghislaine Maxwell is reportedly not having a good time in her new prison. Sources say she was moved from Florida to Texas after inmates threatened her life for being a snitch following her meeting with Trump's lawyer. Inmates at the Texas facility reportedly complained, saying, this is supposed to be a low-security prison for non-violent offenders. Trafficking minors is not non-violent. The prison had to be placed on lockdown, and inmates were forced to keep their blinds closed to shield her from view. Maxwell's plea came shortly after Trump was asked if he would consider a pardon. His vague response sparked outrage from victims and critics alike. As one of Epstein's earliest accusers, Alicia Arden shared how the media attention re-traumatizes her, saying, Jeffrey's in my brain. I remember what he did to me in that hotel room. She continued. And this man had a conversation with Trump in the last 48, possibly more hours. He said Trump told him, I didn't have Epstein killed. When asked if he believed Epstein was murdered, Trump replied, a lot of people wanted him dead. This is yet another moment where Trump's ties to Epstein are thrust back into the spotlight. His refusal to take a firm stance on Maxwell has kept speculation alive. Arden's emotional statement may increase pressure on political leaders to finally release the Epstein files and address the lingering concerns of victims.